Now let us start with the sixth video of simple harmonic motion SHM, oscillations of a spring block system. Now the thing that we have to deal with now is a spring. The first is a spring block system. Now when spring is given a small displacement, by stretching it or compressing it, we pull the spring or try to compress the spring. Now what happens? It obeys Hooke's law. Now Hooke's law you have not studied because I have skipped the chapter of elasticity, but it says that stress and strain is proportional to each other. Now what is stress? Stress is the force per unit area, F by A, and strain can be of two types. One is a longitudinal strain and another is a volume strain. So delta L by L, that means change in length by original length. When you stretch a spring, the string expands by, when the string is pulled, the spring expands, suppose by a length of delta L. Original length was L. The spring extends by length of delta L. So what is strain? Strain can be written as delta L by L. We don't need to understand what is a volume strain now. Only thing you have to understand here is delta L by L. That is strain or longitudinal strain along the length. So stress is force per, this is the force applied to stress the spring. Force per unit area is the stress, and strain is change in length by original length. Now the ratio of stress and strain is a constant, which was given by Hooke, H-O-O-K, Hooke. So this spring obeys Hooke's law. Now when spring is given a small displacement, by stretching it or compressing it, what happens? Then restoring force. The spring tries to return back to its original size and shape. Restoring elastic force, I must say, restoring elastic force is developed in it because it obeys Hooke's law, H-O-O-K-E, Hooke's law, which says that stress proportional to strain. Stress is proportional to strain. Now we can write this mathematically as F proportional to minus x. Therefore F is equal to minus kx. Here k is known as the spring constant, A is known as the spring constant. Now why a minus sign here? Because this force is the elastic force developed in the spring due to our external force F. This was the external force F. So the internal force that was in the spring, that developed in the spring to restore its original shape and size. That means if we try to expand the spring will try to compress it itself. Whether we try to compress it, the spring will try to expand itself. It will always prevent its change of dimensions. So this is the elastic force that is developed within the spring. So a minus sign comes. This is the internal force, because this is always in a direction opposite to that of the original force applied, external force applied. So F proportional to Fp proportional to minus kx, where k is known as the spring constant. Now some conditions that we have to take. Number one was that. Number two, you can take that spring is assumed massless. It is assumed massless, but actually the spring is not massless. Here we can assume the spring to be massless. So the restoring elastic force in spring is assumed to be same everywhere. So restoring elastic force is same everywhere. Now the third point that we can write here is the spring constant. If we can discuss about the spring constant, it depends on the length. So spring constant, I can write here, spring constant depends on number one, that is the length, L-E-N-G-T, length, and secondly uh, radius and material of wear of spring, because spring is made up of wears, thick wears. Therefore, K into L is constant. We have written here that K is a constant, spring constant, and also the value of K, that is the spring constant, depends on length. So K into L is always constant. That means what is K? K is the mass per unit length. You have studied about the spring constant where you have uh, discussed about the spring balance. Suppose 10 Newton per centimeter. Therefore, it means that 1 centimeter expansion requires a force of 10 newtons. That is the value of K. So K is a constant. Into L will also remain a constant. Now, if you try to draw the graph between this K and L, that means K is inversely proportional to L. If KL and L, product of K and L is a constant, so K is inversely proportional to L. K proportional to 1 by L. Now, as K into L is a constant, so K proportional to 1 by L, and the graph will be like this. This was K, this was L, so the graph will be like this. If you remember the graph between pressure and volume for Boyle's law, it was also the same. That means P proportional to 1 by V, or inversely proportional to V as you said. That means K inversely proportional to L means this shape is a rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola. Y-axis we have taken K, and along the x-axis we have taken the length of the spring. Now, number 2, spring pendulum. We have discussed about the simple pendulum earlier in I think video number 3 or 4. Now this is a spring pendulum. As we all know, when a spring, if hung from a point and the end, lower end is pulled down and released, it will just vibrate in this fashion. So this we can take as SHM, as an SHM, and so the name pendulum comes here. That means it is a spring pendulum. The diagram should be like this. This is a spring, and suppose we hang a mass here M. So the spring will oscillate in this fashion, up and down. This oscillation is up and down. So F is equal to minus kx, or rather you can start it from F equal to F proportional to minus x. Now, when a small mass M is suspended from massless, this spring is taken to be massless spring. This arrangement is known as a spring pendulum. Clear? Now, for small linear displacements, very small linear displacement. Linear means in this line downwards. For small linear displacement, the motion of simple pendulum is simple harmonic. So this is a SHM, as I have said. Now for this problem, we start with this F is equal to minus kx. Now what was F? It was M into A minus kx. Now according to the calculus form, we can write A as d square x dt square. That means double derivative of the displacement. First derivative gives the velocity. First derivative of displacement gives velocity, and the second order displacement of that term gives acceleration. That means d square x dt square. Now d square x dt square becomes minus k by mx. What was k by m? Minus omega square x. That means what was omega? It was root over k by m. You have already studied this part. So t was equal to omega by 2 pi. Sorry. 2 pi by omega. That means 2 pi root over k by m. So we can write t is equal to square root of 2 pi m by k. So the formula of t, so the formula of omega becomes root over k by m. Formula of t becomes 2 pi root over m by k. Now this is for the spring only and not for any other cases. This is for the spring only. That means k is a spring constant and m is a mass of the spring. We can also write the equation of frequency also. As you know, frequency is 1 by t, so it becomes 1 by 2 pi root over k by m. Now the time period of the simple pendulum, if you see the expression of the time period, This is the expression of the time period. The time period of the simple pendulum, or the spring pendulum, sorry, the spring pendulum is independent of acceleration due to gravity. There is no term related to acceleration due to gravity or small g. This is the reason why a clock based on oscillation of spring pendulum will keep proper time everywhere on a hill or moon or in a satellite or different places of the earth. So this point is very important. So I have written the point for you. You can take it down in the copy. Time period of a spring pendulum is independent of g, or acceleration due to gravity. This is why a clock based on oscillations of spring pendulum will keep proper time everywhere. This point is very important. Everywhere on a hill, moon, or in a satellite or different places of the earth. Anywhere you take, this will keep proper time, because this value does not depend on the value of the time period of the spring pendulum does not depend on the value of g. Now, if a spring pendulum is made to oscillate in a horizontal plane, so if the spring pendulum is kept in this horizontal plane, on a horizontal plane, what happens? If we pull this block, the spring expands and it will contract, setting the pendulum into oscillations. So pendulum oscillation will start in a horizontal plane. Now, if we try to derive this formula, A is equal to F by M, similarly in the fashion which we have done for the spring, which was hanging from a point, the same thing will happen. Minus kx by m. What was minus kx? A was minus omega square x. So comparing, we get omega is equal to k by m. Similarly, value of t becomes 2 pi root over m by k. So if we keep the spring pendulum in a horizontal plane, the value of time period will not change. Again, if we can keep the pendulum on an inclined plane, like this, attached to this point, the time period will also remain the same. That means the value of time period in this case will also be 2 pi root over m by k. Now, if two masses m1 and m2 are connected by a spring, and then made to oscillate, now the time period will be like this: t is equal to 2 pi root over, it was m, you can write m or mu, m by k. Now the value of m for a combined mass m1 and m2, m will be equal to m1 m2 by m1 plus m2. This m is known as the reduced mass. This m is known as the reduced mass. Now if you take another case, number 5, if the stretch in a vertically loaded spring, let's suppose it be y naught or x naught. You can take it y naught because I am stating it for a vertical displacement. If the stretch in a vertically loaded spring is y naught, then for equilibrium of mass m. Now what is equilibrium? So this is the spring, the mass m is hanging downwards, the spring constant is k, so ky naught must be equal to mg. The value of the force acting downwards on the spring is mg, and the restoring force, we have stated it, F is equal to minus kx. That is, as the displacement is in the y direction, we have taken it to be y naught. So stretch, so y naught we can write it as stretch or vertical stretch. Clearly, if you can say, it will be a vertical stretch. So m by k, what is m by k here? Y naught by g. So time period, the formula of time period was 2 pi root over m by k. Instead of m by k, we replace here y naught by g. Now, if or rather, the time period of a spring pendulum is independent of the acceleration due to gravity. But here the value of g comes. So you have to remember the time period of the spring pendulum was independent of the value of g. But for this equilibrium condition, I can write it equilibrium condition of this part. Equilibrium condition, I can state. The expression has the value of G here only for equilibrium and not oscillation or time period. Now, if two particles are attached to a spring in which one is oscillating, suppose this is the ground, one weight is m2, we attach a spring here and place a mass m1 on top. Now, the time period of oscillation of this spring will depend upon only the mass m1 and not m2, because m2 is at rest on the ground. K is the spring constant of the spring. Now we start with various spring arrangements. That means series combination of springs. Series combination, as we have studied in series combination of resistances in class 10. So these are two springs which are in series with the mass m. K1 and K2 are the spring constants of these two springs. Even if we show the series combination in this fashion, or the horizontal mode or the vertical mode, it remains the same as we have seen earlier. So the first thing we have to do is derive the formula for the time period. Now total displacement, let the displacement for the spring with spring constant K1 be x1. So x must be equal to x1 plus x2. That means displacement of the spring with spring constant K1 is x1, and that of the spring second spring with spring constant K2 is x2, the displacements. So force acting on both the springs, force is equal to minus K1 x1 is equal to minus K2 x2, because the force is acting in the same magnitude on both the springs. So from this, if we take force is equal to F, so K1 is equal to not K1, x1 is equal to F by K1, and from this relation F is equal to minus K2 x2, we get x2 is equal to minus F by K2. So minus F by K1 minus F by K2. So x was x1 plus x2. This was x is equal to x1 plus x2. So we can write here minus F by K1 minus F by K2, value of x1 plus x2. If we take minus common from here, or F also common from here, minus F common, we get 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2. Now comparing this, or equivalent force F is equal to Kx. F is equal to, comparing this with the equation, F is equal to minus Kx, or we can try to uh, conceptualize in this fashion, that if two springs are replaced by a single spring with spring constant K, then what happens for the relation? That means x is F by K minus F by K. X is minus F by K. So the relation x is equal to x1 plus x2. Instead of x, we replace minus F by K, and x1 plus x2 as minus of F by 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2. So minus gets cancelled, F gets cancelled. So 1 by K is equal to 1 by K1 plus 1 by K2. A similar formula we have derived for the parallel combination of resistances. The same formula will be derived for the series combination of the spring, rather the series combination of springs. So value of K is K1 K2 by K1 plus K2. So this is the value of the equivalent spring constant for two springs of value K1 and K2. Now the second was parallel combination of spring. Now parallel combination can be of these three types. You have to learn these three types, or take into your brain these three diagrams. Very important. The second diagram is very easy to remember. Parallel combination, you can see it, and first conclusion you can say that it's a parallel combination. But this is an odd case. That means if we pull the mass m on the right hand side, K2 will, or the spring with the spring constant K2, or the second spring will compress, whereas the first spring will expand. When you release the mass will try to restore its position back to the original position. So the spring K1 will compress, K2 will expand. But in this case, both the springs will expand. In this case also, one expansion, one compression. So in parallel combination, which one is constant? displacement is constant. So we can write, when parallel combination, displacement is constant. Why displacement is constant? Because if this moves by distance x on the right hand side, this will expand by the same distance x on the right hand side. So the displacement on each spring, I can say displacement of each spring is same or constant, but what is not same? Restoring force. But restoring force is not same. Why not same? Because the springs have different spring constants. So force acting, F is equal to F1 plus F2, F1 plus F2, or rather F1 plus F2. So we can replace the value of K1x minus K2x. I have already stated the displacement is the same. So displacement will be x on this spring and also on this spring. Expansion contraction will be the same. So x and x. So minus K1x minus K2x. Now replace F by minus Kx is equal to minus K1x minus K2x. So K is equal to K1 plus K2. K was, or K is the value of K for parallel combination is K1 plus K2. Simple, or rather similar to the relation that we had found out in class 10 for series combination of distances. Now the time period T was equal to 2 pi root over m by this K. So 2 pi root over m by K1 plus K2. Already we know how to find out the value of n also frequency. So 1 by t becomes 1 by 2 pi root over k1 k2 by m, just the reciprocal of the value of t. So frequency or angular frequency omega is equal to 2 pi n. So 2 pi and 2 pi gets cancelled. So it becomes omega is equal to k1 plus k2 by m. I had missed out on the value of t for the series combination case. We can write same case, same thing that we have done for the parallel combination, 2 pi root over m by ks, or k here, this k. So 2 pi root over m by, what is the value of k? K1 k2 by k1 plus k2. So it becomes m into k1 plus k2 by k1 k2. Now we discuss some math problem. The first problem, one body is suspended from a spring of length L, spring constant K, and has time period T. Now if the spring is divided into two equal parts, cut into two equal parts, halved, and joined in parallel, the same body suspended, determine the new value of time period, or rather new time period. Very simple problem. Now spring constant combination, for solution we can